Hey, this is Hardline, Destructoid's video game news podcast. I'm Jordan Devore, and I got my good friends with me today. Steven Hansen,
Hi, friends.
hi friend, and Hamza Aziz.
Kookabunga!
Kookabunga to you too. If you don't know what that is, that means you're not playing Super Time Force, and that means you are not a good friend of ours, because you should be playing that. But we'll talk about that later. We should start off with a lot of Microsoft stuff happened this week, and not much else. So
A lot of micro stuff.
classic Steven. Um, so the big thing is you're no longer going to be forced to buy a Kinect with your Xbox One. Which is really good. And the bigger deal here is that it's cheaper as a result of that. So $399, right in line with the PlayStation 4. This is happening, I believe, June 9th, for sure in June. Basically everything Microsoft this week is happening in June. But yeah, I mean, who
To reiterate,
wants the Kinect? Not me. That's all I got to say.
first said the Xbox One would not work without a Kinect. Then it said, well, yeah, it could work with the Kinect off. And then it said, we have no plans to release a Kinect-free version 3 months ago. And now, 3 months later, it says, hey, you can buy it without a Kinect if you don't want one. We're sorry.
My favorite. This is a newer thing that's separate from this. There was a quote this morning. I kind of only skimmed it. I don't know if it was Phil Spencer, head of Xbox, who said it, or just someone else at Microsoft. But they were basically like, "We think we're actually going to sell more Kinects this way because more people will buy the Xbox One, and then they'll be like, you know what I need? A Kinect, so I'm going to buy that standalone." Yeah, right. That's not going to happen.
Well, the other crazy thing, which I mentioned in my, I did a little write up about this, but I mean, basically, Sony, came out at 400, had a $60-$70 camera peripheral separate, came out with Twitch streaming out of the gate, did huge numbers on PS4 and Twitch because that's like a novel new thing to a lot of people who aren't people who would watch Twitch, and people went out and bought those cameras. I mean, GameStop was like selling them marked up from the MSRP because they were so in high demand. So, Sony did it smartly and organically. Microsoft just added one other thing on the list of things that pissed people off, which is, hey, you have to have this camera that's effectively $100 because what else is the price difference for? Not for specs, that's for sure.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I'm just thinking back to so I owned an original Kinect for Xbox. I was one of those poor fools who went out and got one. It was like, I want to say $50 with the gun stringer, which was a decent game. But so I was like, I'll buy it at that price. And it was novel and interesting for the short term when I was first playing it. But my God, like having gone through that experience, I am definitely not. I would not buy a Kinect. I just Not even for the user interface
Well,
stuff.
I mean,
I don't care about that.
there's not even a Dance Central on Xbox One, right? And that's like the only good thing to do with the Kinect.
We finally got Kinect Sports Rivals to come out last week, the week or recently, and I mean, up until then, there wasn't anything specifically designed for the Kinect, other than just user interaction.
I still
Interface
can't
stuff.
believe that game wasn't out at launch. That seems like a big mistake on their part, but
Yeah, I mean, I think what Microsoft was trying to do was just trying to get that into people's homes as an extension of people, in the sense that like it's just like an easier way to work with your TV and your media
Use
center and
Skype.
everything.
Use Skype with your family and friends through your Xbox One.
use Internet
Yeah.
Explorer
Because
with the whole
Kinect,
family.
Bing Xbox One.
the idea behind the Kinect itself, I like it in the sense that it does really cool things. You've seen how it's been applied to everything except gaming, in the sense that
Yes.
it's really good. Like some of the stuff they're doing with the medical field. There was a video last night showing this guy who used the Oculus Rift with 3 Kinects in a room to create a 3D virtual space of himself. So there's a lot of great applications for the idea behind it. But as far as gaming goes, it's a piece of shit. And at the end of the day, people are still looking at the Xbox One as a gaming console first, no matter how much Microsoft wants to push it as a media center or whatever.
And it seems as if Microsoft is now trying to reposition its messaging to be like, yeah, it is about games. Hence this move to drop Kinect, which is good.
The weird parallel between the Xbox One and the PS3. It's like, hey, we're gonna cram a bunch of not standard stuff in the PS3, and it's gonna be like twice as much as the 360, which comes out first, but you're gonna buy it. And Microsoft didn't even have that same foothold Sony had with the PS2. Microsoft didn't have that with the 360. The PS3 is already caught up, like, and so their rebranding is basically, okay, let's do what Sony did last E3 and, you know, get the price the same and talk about games.
Which is probably for the best. I mean, I'd rather it come down to just games. And have the systems be more or less, you know, both passable, both good enough. But
I don't know.
I mean,
I feel like they've hurt themselves for so long up until this point. Like,
it's not like they can't come back from it though, because it's still early days for the Xbox One.
Yeah,
I agree. I agree.
Looking at it right now, the latest major exclusive to come out for the system is Super Time Force, which is an awesome game, but even that is not traditionally exclusive because it's also on the 360. And the only major exclusive we have on the horizon right now is Sunset Overdrive. I mean, yeah, there's going to be a ton of games revealed at E3, and Microsoft is really pushing that their E3 press conference to be nothing but 90 minutes of games, which I think says a lot right there because the fact
that's probably why they made this Kinect announcement now, is just to get people to tune in. Like, oh, maybe I will buy it now that it's $100 cheaper, because it's also a price cut aside from being Kinect free. Like,
yeah,
it certainly has me more. Not like I'm gonna go out and get an Xbox One anytime soon, but it has me more receptive to whatever they're gonna do at E3. So I think you're right about that. But God, E3 is gonna be long. I am and am not looking forward to it, as is the case seemingly every year. So,
yeah, I mean, last year was traditionally lighter than in years past. Because everyone was still just slowly getting new content out there for the new consoles that were being revealed. But this year it's just going to be an avalanche of titles after titles after titles because everyone's familiar with the hardware now. We're going to see a lot more current gen Xbox One, PS4 exclusives.
Yeah.
Last Guardian announcement.
Oh God.
Nope.
Agent.
When was that
announced? Agent.
Wasn't that an Agent? Good Lord! But like, wasn't Last Guardian in 2008? When it wasn't that when it was first announced? It's been so long.
Probably. Final Fantasy 13 Versus is going to get some new trailers because now it's Final Fantasy 15. That game was announced in 2006.
Yeah, but at least we know there's progress being made behind that game. Whereas they're just pussyfooting around the fact that The Last Guardian is still in the works, and like, I think there was like something recently where like people that were at the studio have left because of just all the troubles they've been facing.
Mm-hmm. I can only imagine what's going on there. I believe them that work is happening on it, but to what end? I don't even know. But I just want Project Beast or whatever that. I just want a new Souls game, so I'm hoping that comes to fruition.
I just want Gravity Rush 2.
I don't know about that. Didn't Sony say something about? Well, I don't know if you count Gravity Rush as a AAA game, but wasn't there some quote recently that they were saying that it's not worth it to do AAA games on PS Vita because there's not enough people buying them. Basically, there's not the market for them.
Yeah, I don't know if I mean,
but I don't know how much that game costs.
Falls into that, like,
I don't know.
Traditionally versus like doing an Uncharted. I mean, it's, you know, production values are through the roof. It is one of my favorite looking games ever made. I don't know if to what extent it counts, but they've said they're doing Gravity Rush 2. Like they've
I forgot it was a thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
I want to see a concrete look at it.
Yeah. Nintendo, more than anything, I want to see what Nintendo's going to do. I'm hoping they, I don't know, do something unexpected, just given their current. Well, I don't that having just bought a Wii U. I'd rather they not announce a new console.
Well,
A new handheld would be fine, but
that was what Iwata was talking about, right? The whole one single successful game can sell a console, and saying, I have a clear vision for what our new console should be, or something like that.
well, okay. So yes and no. Those are like responses to two different questions. Nintendo recently did well, as is the case with a lot of companies right now. It's like financial fiscal year earnings calls and all that fun stuff that I hate to listen in on. But so there was a Q&A with investors that Nintendo did. And one of the quotes Bada said was that, yeah, a single game could save a system. And he talked about how, well, save is a strong word. The example he used was that Game Boy sales were not where they wanted them to be. And then Pokemon came out and just like gave new life to that system.
I do love how that's the example, though. Like, hey, we did it 15 years ago once with a new IP, which we don't make anymore.
With like their best IP, most successful IP, just about. It seems like. Yeah, I agree. So that was one of the quotes. And the other quote, what was the other thing you were talking about that you just brought up here?
The new system? New system. He's like, we want to make the existing user base happy first, but there could be a new system sooner than expected.
Well, yes, kind of. Someone asked if they were going to come out with it earlier, given the Wii U's, where the Wii U's at. And then he was just like, Iwata was just like, well, we're always thinking about new hardware, and we have an idea of where the next thing will go, and we have plenty of ideas for future consoles. So I feel like that's the same old business.
The same line.
Yeah. So I'm not expecting new hardware yet. That would be...
No, I'm not actually expecting that.
Yeah.
I just think that would be hilarious.
And I also am not expecting them to drop the... in light of the Kinect thing, I feel like people have been...
Oh yeah, that's weird.
Get rid of the gamepad, which is like I highly doubt
Nintendo doesn't make those kind of responsive lateral decisions. Like
double down on the gamepad, if anything, which they actually are, because in that Q&A they were talking about how they're making gamepad only games, which could be cool. Honestly, I really like the gamepad for what it is. So the system would be not as interesting without it, I think.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, it's cool.
It's
cool. Hamza.
Hamza's like, they sent us a free Wii U, but I don't even play it anyways because I hate Nintendo.
They didn't send us a Wii U. We had to buy it.
Did you?
No.
They they can't be sending out free Wii U's, Steven.
No. Actually, out of all the companies out there, Nintendo is the most stingiest in terms of sending out products. I feel
like they send out all of the special edition DSs, or does that just wind up at Dale's house?
I was just about to say, like, we got one once. It was like a special edition Pokemon DS Lite or something, or 3DS or whatever, and I gave it to Max. But otherwise, like, we've never...
They're good at... they've been really good recently with software, though, getting out review codes and things like that. But hardware.
I guess this is more of a really big first world issue. This is more beyond reviews. This is just getting hooked up because I'm me.
Yes.
So basically, Hamza expects everyone.
Your views are not indicative of the views of Destructoid as a whole. We need a little disclaimer.
Yes.
But yeah, I mean, free games to do our job is nice, since we can't really afford to go out and buy every single game we cover. That's just the business reality of it. But back to Microsoft. So the other news that came out this week was that they're retooling games with gold, at least for Xbox One. So in June, Xbox 360 users with gold memberships are getting 3 games: Dark Souls, yay; Charlie Murder, that's pretty good; and Super Street Fighter 4 Arcade Edition. So actually a pretty good month for once.
Except
I thought Max
coming out.
I thought Max and the Curse of the Brotherhood was also going to be...
That's for Xbox One.
Oh, okay,
so that and Halo Spartan Assault are the first games for Xbox One games with gold. And so the difference with Xbox One here is that it's sort of like PS Plus. Well, exactly like PS Plus. You'll need your membership to keep playing the game. Whereas on 360, it's been, and I think it will continue to be, that you download the game and you own it forever. Which is actually kind of a good thing that they're following PS Plus, because hopefully this will mean better games.
There's not really many games you can offer on the Xbox One.
I know. Well, they're starting now, so they're going to have to offer something.
I mean, PS Plus had, Mercenary Kings free at launch, and like Don't Starve and Outlet, like Resogun, like good games.
Good lord.
If they're gonna follow PS Plus and be like, yeah, you have to be a subscriber still to play this content, they better start giving out good content. Like
watch just 6 months of Halo Spartan Assault.
DLC, it should be like DLC for Halo Spartan Assault if there is any.
And then 6 months later, it's like Assassin's Creed 2, Gears of War 2.
Yeah, Xbox Live Gold is the thing I'm not happy to pay for. Well,
they did smartly unlock the media apps, Netflix and Hulu and whatever,
Twitch and like a bunch of other things I didn't realize actually require gold. I was kind of surprised.
Yeah.
Which and so if you were one of the people to actually just use your 360 for that, you can get a refund on gold next month, so that's kind of good. But someone in the comments was like, oh, let me see if I can pull up that comment. I'm probably not, but someone made a really funny comment on Detroit about how, oh no, what will I do? I won't be able to watch it. I won't be able to watch Netflix on my Wii U, 3DS, PS3, PS4, iPad, iPhone. It's like who's watching this on just 360? I don't know, but
who's paying a
special
membership just to?
I am.
Oh, poor Bill. Poor Bill, producer Bill Zoker. But that said, at the same time, that's no excuse for them not to do this. So let me make that clear. It's like this needed to happen a long time ago. So
yeah, I was just thinking about it actually, and I think I just bought gold more or less to use Netflix, and so I think I'm gonna try to get that refund. I know. Then again, I got Garden Warfare, so maybe not.
That is actually the reason why I recently resubbed, was for Garden Warfare. So that's how they get you, unfortunately. Yeah, so that's pretty much it for Microsoft. Like we said, lots of games probably at E3 they'll talk about. Yeah, I don't know about that system. We'll see. But another thing, so Rockstar is working on a next-gen, their words, not mine, next-gen project for release before April 2015. And given that timeline, I am pretty sure it's going to be Grand Theft Auto 5 for Xbox One, PS4, PC, maybe. Hamza's like, yeah. What else could it be? I mean, I know they have a ton of employees in studios, but it's like Rockstar takes its time unless
they've been working on something with like
in secret,
extra hush hush. It's probably just that.
It's also like in line with all the leaks that were happening on Amazon France and all these other like retailers listing Grand Theft Auto for other platforms. And I mean, it makes sense that it should come out for next gen consoles and PC. It's just, it is weird that they haven't said shit about it. Like
I know it has leaked so many times on in that it's like once or twice it could have been a fluke, but yeah.
It's
there
happening.
Are people,
it's just...
and there, yeah, it is, and there have literally been sources who have told other outlets, and we've heard things too that it's happening. So it's like, I don't know why they can't just admit it. I mean, the game's been out for a while now. It's not like people are going to stop buying it if that exists.
The only reason they're holding their cards right now would be, realistically, if it's going to be announced at either Sony's or Microsoft's press conference at E3. But if it's not announced there, then I just don't even...
That is a good point. I mean, who knows what kind of deals go into those press conferences and the like money that gets exchanged, if any at all. But I assume some would. Who knows? So that could be it.
Yeah. I mean, there's definitely something involved financially there, especially if you're getting exclusives. Like, I mean, Activision is a good example. Like, for a fact, I think it's actually been like revealed before that Microsoft paid a shit ton of money to make all the exclusives happen on the Xbox platforms first for Call of Duty. And
yeah.
Yeah. And that's going to happen with the PS4 with Destiny. They get the exclusives first.
And Sony's been... is it Assassin's Creed that they're always having exclusive stuff for?
Ubisoft in general.
Okay. Yeah, so...
Because Watch Dogs was at their press conferences and everything. I don't know if the relationships got soured after Watch Dogs got delayed and that whole bundle. Remember, that was going to be a thing. It was Watch Dogs should have been out for PS4 at launch. Or for all the platforms. Bundle. Yeah.
That would have made a big... well, I don't know. It's hard to say, but the impression I got was that quite a few people, at least in our audience, our circles, was wanting to get the PS4 with that game. So instead, we got like Resogun and a couple other things, which are good, but it's like you can use as many games as you can, as you want to use as many games as you possibly can for a launch. I still think that game does not look good, but maybe that's just
too.
Me.
No, it's
and I never really have thought it looked good.
See, the thing is, I thought it looked great when it was revealed, and then as time went on, and we saw other games doing essentially the same thing, and actually part of it too is that after playing a shit ton of Grand Theft Auto 5, I'm just like, we've talked about this. I'm just like burned out on open world.
Well, beyond that, it just looks like it totally looks like every other Ubisoft open world game. Just the general design of it.
And I don't like Ubisoft.
Exactly. I'm kind of done with
Assassin's Creed. But I mean, yeah, when they revealed it 2 years ago, it was like, oh, a new IP, part of like a really strong press conference. They did Rayman stuff. Like, yeah, okay, Ubisoft, you're doing all right. But yeah, it's just...
I was skeptical even then. I was one of the few who's like, what? Why are you so excited? But then in a way, I'm kind of like that with The Division as well. Although I will say
I am even
looks
more
really
The Division than I am of Watch Dogs.
I think that looks like the more interesting of the two.
Basically, every Ubisoft game that's not in the UbiArt engine. So, like, yeah, Child of Light and Valiant Hearts, like, I'm down with those. But
with
anything else from Ubisoft, just...
one exception being Far Cry, because I feel like they have Far Cry pretty well figured out. But yeah, I am with you on the UbiArt that more of their games should use that. But Watch Dogs... you can express yourself through hacking in Watch Dogs, which is not a selling point. Ubisoft, I'm sorry.
I bet we're gonna get a Prince of Persia UbiArt reveal happening at E3.
There was a rumor of that, and it seems likely. Yeah, it's been a while.
Prince of Persia still holds up so well. Like, it's kind of ridiculous.
You mean in any specific way or in all ways?
In all, like visually, like it looks. It's because it has such a distinctive look. And like the animation is so fluid, like, and gameplay holds up. It's hard to not hold up with a 2D side scroller platformer thing, but that would kind of make sense actually. But now I just want to play the original again. They should like bundle it together because I thought they re-released it, or did they make like a weird ugly HD version?
I feel like they did the HD ugly thing, but you could play the original in there. That sounds vaguely familiar.
Yeah.
I know they did that for the mobiles, for iOS. I don't know about consoles.
So that was basically all the news I wanted to talk about, but Super Time Force came out this week, so we can end So it's no surprise, it's pretty damn good. I did one of my rare reviews for Destructoid, and I gave it a 9 out of 10, which was a little higher than some other outlets, but in general, people seem to be really liking it. So I have a feeling fans will dig it a lot too. Yeah, so it's a new Capybara game. It is. I've heard people describe it as Contra, which I don't necessarily agree with, because it is a run and gun sort of side-scrolling shooter game like Contra, but it's really there's a lot less.
It's Contra meets Braid.
It's more time traveling, less enemy. It's like less enemies than Contra implies. That comparison implies. So you're shooting things as normal, and you can rewind time, and then you're playthrough will play itself out again, and you're controlling a new person, and you can do that like 30 to 40 times in one level. So you'll have like an army of different playthroughs dominating the enemy, and it's really fun in boss fights because you can just like kill them in 5 seconds if you do it right. If you just keep spamming and aiming in the right spots and then rewinding, it's a little too brute forcey. That was one of my main complaints. Is like the level design never really forces you to be super clever with your ability, but it's still so fun, and the sense of humor is amazing. I highly recommend it.
Yeah, another 9 out of 10.
If you have an Xbox, that is.
Another 9 out of 10 review that went up today for Ether 1, which Hamza does not care about at all, even though it's real good.
I didn't. What?
You didn't know about it. I knew what Ether 1 was.
I didn't know.
Jordan's in
what the hell is
right.
Ether 1?
It's a sort of Myst-like adventure puzzle game, first-person game. It looks a lot like those games that everyone is angry at since Gone Home came out, because it's like walking around in first person and there's no guns. But there's like, it's, full of like, so there's kind of a parallel, like you go through and you can mostly just kind of explore and wander and technically finish the game. But then there's also like tons of puzzles that if you do, you basically get sort of an alternate ending type thing. But it's, so I mean, it sets this sci-fi premise up of like you are a restorer going into someone's memories to try to retrieve memories, and then it ends incredibly well. Puzzles are really good. Like everything about that game is pretty top notch and clever. But I can't talk about it too much without spoiling it.
Which is always the way with those types of games, it seems like.
Yeah.
But
Super Time Force has puns, though.
Hey, I got puns, man.
Jeff Leppard, my boy.
the characters, I didn't even say that. They're so good.
Well, there's a poop character.
He is not fun to use, but he's funny. I think there's 16 in total. I'm missing one.
With the poop character, you aim your ass at enemies to unleash your special fart attack.
And then you can shoot the fart, and it like does more damage.
Yes.
Hamza, I need to take the rest of the day off and go play Super Time Force.
No.
You're so mean.
I didn't know fart and poop in that game. Like, I need to go
Listen
home.
to your washed out, blown out, white balance god. He says no.
Also, there's a boss that's made of poop that throws that poop at you, and then little poops run around.
I feel like poops are coming back in vogue.
I hope.
Right? I mean, Hohokam has the poop factory level, which is fabulous.
I have not heard about this.
Yeah,
what do you do with it?
Fly around a poop factory, and you kind of help the poop factory get going again, and help all the little workers out at the poop factory. You
optimize its efficiency in the poop factory process. Good.
Yeah. But I don't know. I feel like there's been a dearth of poops in games for a while. Like the last like memorable poop in a game I remember is in the Digimon World game for the PS1, where your Digimons would get sick and poop, or maybe they just always pooped. I don't know if they ate the poop. I don't know. That was a weird game.
I remember that poop design pretty well.
Yeah, it was a good poop.
This sure turned into a shitty episode of Hardline.
I liked it. I liked it.
It was a pun.
What a bunch of crap.
God, Jordan.
You're so mean. I try so hard, Hamza. Not really. I did want to say one thing about Super Time Force. If you're playing it and you're wondering about the badges, because I swear it's not explained anywhere, and probably on purpose. So there's one badge you'll be like, how do I get this? And there's this weird kind of, I don't know how you describe that power up. It's like a bunch of different colored boxes kind of like swooshing around. And if you touch it, it adds this weird time to your HUD. And what that time is how much faster you need to be. So it's basically a speedrun badge. So you have to hit this one objective really quickly, basically without stopping, and you get a badge. So If you're wondering about that, there you go. I spoiled it for you.
Wait, is that timer going down or up?
It'll say like negative 20 seconds, which means you're 20 seconds too slow.
Oh.
If you get to it and the thing in the power up thing, the item is like looks like a dude with a cape, that means you're fast enough. It's like these time people or something.
I got them, but I never really paid attention to it.
Yeah. So I will say, like, you should go for that because the game is really, really challenging trying to get there in time. You basically have to play perfectly. So it's actually a good use of it really does challenge and use the time rewind mechanic well. So yeah, even if you don't do that, fun game, worth the $15 or whatever it is.
And hey, what else are you gonna play on the Xbox One or Xbox 360 right now?
I agree.
Right?
Yeah.
Right?
Netflix.
Yeah. Now that it's free.
Play Netflix.
Wait, sort of. Now that it's free to
It's
access.
not free yet. It's not free
Now
yet.
that it's free to access for you to input your credit card to continue to watch Netflix.
Okay, I forgot to say this. I just have to say this really quick. You still have to pay for gold for free to play games.
Oh,
They're
right.
not changing that.
Yeah.
And MMOs, like
And
other shows
MMOs.
online. It sounds like they might change it, but yeah, it's kind of funny that they didn't also announce that with all this other Netflix stuff.
Yeah.
So no Happy Wars and whatever else is. World of Tanks, I guess, is the other big one.
Oh no, whatever will you do? You can't play such wonderful titles as the console version of World of Tanks.
The CEO of Wargaming is probably mad about that.
Yeah. Oh well, I guess you could just go play on the PC.
He has tons of money. He's fine.
You know, funny story. World of Tanks, I never paid attention to it when it was first out there for the first few years, and then it was some trade show when they finally made it big enough that they have a crazy big booth, and they had it playing on the TVs. I'm like, oh, this game actually looks great visually. I just assumed it'd be a shitty, free-to-play, crappy-looking game.
I have still never played it. I likely never will.
I think I played the console version for a couple rounds, and then I don't know,
Are you just a tank shooting other tanks? That's my understanding.
Basically.
Okay, yeah, so I'm not really into that so much, but...
Tanks, but no tanks.
And on that note, thanks for listening to this episode of Hardline. We have iTunes restored. Yay. You can listen to the audio version of this podcast on iTunes if you search for Destructoid Hardline. Or you can, if you like
probably
video.
Already know that if they've gotten this far.
It's a good reminder for people who are just tuning in.
Well, the last few weeks we haven't had iTunes working, so it's back now, and those old episodes are up on the feed. So yeah,
smart ass.
Well, they do probably know about our YouTube channel, but I'm going to say it anyways. It's youtube.com/dtoid, so you can go see that.
And
I don't know what
subscribe.
Max is doing these days, but
And our website is www.destructoid.com.
yes,
Yay!
yes. If you go there, that'll make
Thanks.
Steven happy, me happy too.
Don't go there. Don't go anywhere.
No Twitter pimping.